Saturday, December 7th. Wilhelm Canaris, chief of the Abwehr, the intelligence and counter-espionage service of the Wehrmacht, arrives in Spain on Hitler's orders to try and persuade Franco that Spain should enter the war. Unexpectedly, Canaris advises the Spanish dictator to remain neutral. Franco is far from convinced that Britain will be defeated. As a consequence of the Spanish position, Hitler cancels the scheduled visit to Madrid of General Alfred Jodl, chief of the operations staff of the Armed Forces High Command. Jodl was to have explained the details of Plan Felix. In Albania, Greek and British planes bombed the port of Valona and hit a munitions dump. Mussolini dismisses General Cesare Maria de Vecchi from his post as chief of the Italian forces in the Aegean Sea and as governor of the Dodecanense. His position is taken by General Ettore Bastico. In Washington, President Roosevelt sends a message to the King of Greece promising help. The American rearmament program is developing at such pace that every 12 days a new vessel leaves the shipyards. In the Battle of the Atlantic, Otto Kretschmer's U-99 sinks the Norwegian merchant ship Farmsum. After being spotted and attacked by an escort destroyer, the U-boat is forced to flee with a damaged periscope. The Spanish ship Nave Mar rescues 28 of the crew members of the British freighter Palmela, which had been sunk by a German submarine 120 miles off the Portuguese coast. Sunday, December 8th. In the Battle of Britain, most of the German pilots no longer believe victory to be possible. Exhausted, they are forced to face the enemy in 2 raids each day. Some crack under the pressure and collapse beside their aircraft before taking off. In the British capital, the Parliament buildings and the Tower of London, officially the Royal Palace, are hit during the night by German bombs. More heads roll in Mussolini's fascist regime as a result of the disastrous Italian invasion of Greece. Admiral Domenico Cavagnari is dismissed from his post as Chief of Staff and Under-Secretary of the Navy after the Greek debacle and is substituted by Admiral Count Arturo Riccardi. RAF aircraft operating in Greece hit the port of Valona in Albania and the Italian ships lying off the city's coasts. Meanwhile, Greek troops occupy Delvine and Girocastra, 30 kilometers north of the Greek-Albanian border. In North Africa, British troops reach the outskirts of Sidi Barrani in Egypt, 95 kilometers from the border with Libya. The Allied officers prepare the offensive, sending troops of sappers to open safe passages through the Italian minefields. In the naval war, the Royal Navy ship HMS Diomede intercepts the German vessel Eiderwald near the island of Cuba. The crew sink the boat before it is captured. Monday, December 9th. From his headquarters in Egypt, Sir Archibald Wavell, Commander-in-Chief of Allied forces in the Middle East and North Africa, orders the start of a massive offensive against the Italian armies in the Western Desert. 36,000 soldiers take part in the attack of the Western Desert Force, comprised of the 7th Armored Division, the 4th Indian Division, and the 16th Infantry Brigade, under the orders of Major General Richard O'Connor. With air and naval support, they launch Operation Compass against the 7 Italian divisions that have managed to penetrate into Egyptian territory. Winston Churchill meets the Spanish ambassador Jacobo Fitzjames Stewart, the Duke of Alba. He promises to continue supplying Spain and to maintain trade links, as well as to control the movements of Juan Negrin, the last president of the Republic, in exile in London, in exchange for Franco's neutrality. President Roosevelt, touring the Caribbean on board the cruise ship Tuscaloosa, receives a letter from the British Prime Minister informing him about the situation in the United Kingdom. Churchill lets the American president know that Britain will soon be unable to pay for the supplies and weapons it receives. He tells the president Britain's destiny is in the hands of the American people. In Tokyo, Yosuke Matsuoka, Minister of Foreign Affairs, declares that if the United States intervenes in the war, Japan will immediately step in to support the Axis powers. Tuesday, December 10th. In Germany, Hitler makes a speech to workers at a weapons factory in which he says, "The struggle is between two antagonistic worlds. One of them must perish in the conflict. Whatever happens, and no matter how long this war lasts, have no doubt that the victory of Germany is assured." Later that day, he issues Directive Number 19, ordering the confiscation of all the equipment of the defeated French army and the preparations for Operation Attila, the occupation of Vichy France, along with its bases and the ports in the Mediterranean. At the annual Nazi Gauleiter Conference, Heinrich Himmler reveals Plan Madagascar, drawn up by Adolf Eichmann of the SS, which has the backing of Hitler and Mussolini. It envisages the relocation of 6 million Jews from Europe to the island of Madagascar, a French colony in the Indian Ocean. In North Africa, southeast of Alam Rabia and south of Sidi Barani, the men led by Major General Richard O'Connor engage in heavy fighting with the Italian forces, which have been overwhelmed by the new Matilda tanks. Meanwhile, ships of the Royal Navy and British planes bombard coastal settlements and airfields from Solomon, Egypt, to Tripoli in Libya. A jubilant Churchill declares in the House of Commons that the offensive in the Egyptian desert is developing satisfactorily and that the Allied soldiers are speedily advancing in a combined operation with the Navy and Air Force. Wednesday, December 11th. In Berlin, Propaganda Minister Joseph Goebbels tells the foreign press that the British are convinced that the English Channel will save the country from invasion. The French thought the same thing about the Maginot Line, and we all know what happened. In the Battle of Britain, waves of Luftwaffe planes bomb Birmingham and its outskirts. Despite bad weather conditions, the RAF sends its bombers to Germany to attack railway hubs, power stations, and water-based airports in the Western Zone.
Brunt of the war.
The Royal Navy's battleship HMS King George V comes into service. Armed with powerful cannons, it carries 4 reconnaissance hydroplanes and can reach 28 knots cruising speed. It becomes the flagship of the home fleet. The Hungarian foreign minister, Count Esteban Saki, visits the Yugoslav capital Belgrade, where he is due to sign a friendship and non-aggression pact sponsored by the leaders of the Third Reich. In North Africa, Allied operations proceed successfully. The 64th Italian Division is in retreat and is surrounded by the British 7th Armored Division, which takes more than 6,000 prisoners. At the same time, the Allied naval and air forces continue to hammer the enemy positions on the coast. the Duce's troops entrenched themselves in Fort Capuzzo and Sidi Omar within Libyan territory. Thursday, December 12th. Luftwaffe airplanes bombed the city of Sheffield, where an important part of the British steel production for the arms industry is concentrated. More than 600 civilians are killed. London, Birmingham, and Liverpool are also attacked, albeit with less intensity. Churchill informs the House of Commons about the situation in the war in North Africa. Sidi El Barani has been taken over along with its coastal strip. The Allies have captured more than 6,000 Italians and continue to push the enemy westwards. Philip Lothian, the British ambassador to the United States, dies. A few hours before passing away, he had delivered a speech on radio in which he warned that the security of the United States is based on America controlling the Pacific and Great Britain the Atlantic. For Churchill, Lothian's death comes as a hard personal blow. The governments of Hungary and Yugoslavia signed a mutual friendship agreement. In the Greek-Italian War, the Duce's forces launched an unsuccessful counteroffensive in Albania, in the area of Moskopolis, Voskopja, where the Greek army has concentrated a high number of troops. In the meantime, British planes acting alongside the Greeks bombed Tirana and Durazzo. In the Far East, the war between China and Japan has now been going on for 3 years, and the forces of Chiang Kai-shek continue to resist the Japanese offensives.